What is gravity?
Okay, I have no idea. Okay, next question. This is called gravity. We can describe gravity. We can say what it does to other things. This is called gravity.
Neil, I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
That's what I do. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
What is up, everybody? John the Morale here, coming to you live from Honea Path, South Carolina. Today is December 21st, 2024. We are counting down the days when we can finally put this crazy ass year behind us. What do you say, folks? We're getting there. We're probably going to have a panel discussion, and that panel is going to include as few as just me and as many as several people. So we'll see how it goes. Either way, I'm fine with it because, you know, there's plenty to talk about. And one thing that I've become fairly decent at, and I'm not proud of it, it definitely doesn't help you in many normal social situations, but I can sit here like in a room by myself and have a completely shameless, non-ironic conversation entirely by myself with no input other than y'all's vibes. That's it. So I run on, you know, fucking Cocoa Pebbles and y'all's vibes alone, basically, is what I'm saying. And the dank, courtesy of Flat Earth Farms in NorCal. Dank so fire you'll realize the earth is flat. Buy some for your globe-tard friends at select distribution centers in the great state of California. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well today. And a few things to talk about. I think we're going to be almost certainly joined by Kristen at some point. She is a bit of a independent farmer, and so she has animals that she has to tend to sometimes. And I get it, man. You got to take care of the goats and the chickens and whatnot. So totally forgivable. And the reason that I think that Kristen's insight is very important to this conversation is because years ago, I mean, we're talking a long time ago, man. Kristen was one of these voices that I, you know, considered a trusted friend that was basically trying to warn me about Jeranism and Bob and the, you know, the Globebusters and basically what, you know, we can probably refer to, you know, colloquially as the Flat Earth Gatekeepers or like the Flat Earth Mafia. I don't know. But, you know, Kristen was warning me about these sorts of shenanigans that we've seen, you know, with like the likes of Mad Mike Hughes and this whole thing with Antarctica and the final experiment. You know, basically 6-7 years ago, I would have told her, you know, I respect your opinion, but I don't believe that about my friends, right? And that's just the type of person that I am. I mean, I tend to give my friends, for better or for worse, the benefit of the doubt. And, you know, when it comes to this particular topic, good friends are definitely hard to come by, right? I mean, because first of all, fuck me, dude. What? I'm live streaming. Here it is. All right, I'll be right back. Here you go. Fuck it. I don't remember what I was saying. Let's see. Where was I at? I can't stand that. Sorry, y'all. It's like, oh, ooh. Okay. I tend to give my friends the benefit of the doubt, right? And so, you know, when it comes to this topic, 99 people out of 100 are basically throwing tomatoes and worse at you, right? And so, first of all, if you haven't seen Jeranism's original work, he did a lot of good work in the beginning, okay? what we're seeing now is stuff that like I never would have in a million years imagined would come to fruition. But this is stuff that people, and not just Kristen, but others, have been sort of warning about and sort of shouting from the rooftops, and the writing has been on the wall for years, right? But, and I'm guilty of this, you know, I get blamed a lot for, I don't know what, for not doing something, for not, I don't know what exactly people would expect me to do. My mission for the last 10 years of my life has been to speak the truth about the world in spite of public, you know, harassment, scrutiny, and basically self-character assassination for things like job interviews or like bidding on contracts for different projects. You know, as soon as somebody looks into my name, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that I am like a flurfer, right? And I know that may mean something to y'all, and I love y'all to death, but you know, to the average person sitting, you know, watching CNN or Fox News all day long, you know, this fucking hat is exactly the right hat, right? Hey, Kristen's on here, so let me grab her in. But you know, I bought this hat at Spinks, which is a gas station here in South Carolina, last Christmas time because it was cold, and I've got giant ears, man. If my ears get cold, I'm done. Like I get these worse headaches. What's up, Kristen? How about it?
What's up? What's up?
You know what they say about you know what they say about guys with big ears.
Myself. I do. Wait, what have you been hearing? Have I been hearing the right thing?
Well, what they say is their fucking ears get cold easy. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
the truth,
yeah,
though.
no, seriously.
So this hat was the only one that they had at Spinks when I bought it last year. And I'm the type of person where if I buy something for a function and that thing meets that function, I'll roll this motherfucker till the wheels fall off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether, you know, regardless of how stupid it is or the mohawk or whatever, keeps the ears warm, and I like it. So it's a keeper.
Yeah, I'm far beyond fashion myself. It works.
Yeah.
It works.
No doubt.
I like the beanie.
Thank you. But you know, and so like that's kind of one thing I wanted to touch on was because you know, Kristen, to your credit, you were sort of warning me about the exact things that we've got playing out in the sort of final experiment shenanigans publicity stunt. And so one thing I kind of wanted to do was maybe just revisit some of the things that you had sniffed out years ago that I was, you know, I don't want to call myself too close-minded, but just too, I don't know. I try to be optimistic about people and give people the benefit of the doubt. But, you know, I guess to a certain degree, I was probably was a bit ignorant about certain people. Oh. Anyways,
apologies.
No, you're good. So anyway, okay. So let me. I thought you were with me there. Sorry. Okay. So I guess what I'll probably do is just kind of.
I heard most of it.
Oh, okay. So well, we'll just do it. We'll just do it conversationally. But is there anything that you remember from back in those years? And we're talking probably what 6, 7, 8 years ago when we were having that conversation. Do you remember anything particularly that stood out to you way back then that because you turned out to be right if I haven't come out and said it plainly?
Well, I mean, it had a lot to do with the David Weiss thing and the whole me just not trusting him, and maybe it's a Mandela effect. Or maybe I'm just the only one who remembers it or has misremembered it, because I could have swore that he had the whole spacesuit thing going on and he was trying to raise $1 million because he had spoken to NASA, and that was the other thing that kind of threw me off, which kind of went along with my leeriness of David Weiss and him being so close with that guy. Because, I mean, I don't know, the whole find a flat earth friend, it sounded cool for a few seconds in my head, and I'm thinking, no, that's tracking people that
wait, back up the wagon though. So say, now, what do you mean again? Because that's not ringing any bells for me in terms of the $1 million spacesuit thing. Like, what's that all about?
It was about the same time. I think let's see what we're talking about. There was a petition that people were signing.
You are roboto glitching, Kristen. It's
it might be my internet. It might be my.
Are you on Wi-Fi or do you have a Ethernet?
I'm on Wi-Fi.
Okay, maybe kill the video and see what that does.
Hey, good call.
Yeah. If that don't fix it, then we'll try to pop you out of the stream and pop you back in. But I think if you just click on the camera icon down there.
Where is? Oh, duh.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so now the $1 million spacesuit thing. What? I think so. Yeah. What is that all about?
I remember like it was one of the first videos of his I watched actually. Like really, outside of one or two with David Weiss or something, I just kind of hear videos. But or no, you know what it was? Algorithm used to not be retarded. But anyways, I digress. It was him outlining that he was looking for donations because he had spoken with NASA. Or
when you say him, you're talking about David Weiss, or you're talking about David Weiss or Jeranism when you say him.
Both of like the group. I mean, it was on a Jeranism video, and it was Jeranism speaking. But I mean, he was saying he was talking with NASA, but I don't know if he meant it was him and somebody else. But he just said he. And there was $1 million. Lord have mercy, I wish I would have saved it. But there's $1 million. NASA said $1 million to prove how their spacesuit works, or to the vacuum. Is how I remember it.
Okay, so
I don't know. So maybe I
know. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just don't remember.
No. I mean, I can totally. I mean, it's happened before. I mean, I don't know. I've never been wrong before.
I mean, I remember. So, like, I remember hearing all kinds of rumor and chatter about some kind of a Bitcoin scam that Jeranism vehemently denied was even him. Okay, I remember hearing about that. I also remember. The whole thing with the FOIA request, the Freedom of Information Act request that. So Jeranism was supposedly trying to get NASA to admit things by a FOIA request, but basically it was a big scam to try to get you to spend a bunch of money for maybe nothing.
Maybe that was I know it was at the same time. It was at the same time because that was the whole signing the petition thing, if I remember right, was to get NASA to, maybe that's what it had to do with. Maybe one of the bullet points had to do with the spacesuit or some business, and that's where the money was coming in, because he was asking for major donations or as much as you can afford to help the cause, kind of thing.
Right. So put a pin in that, and maybe we'll come back to it because I'm just ignorant of it. I don't know enough about it to even speak on it, but I'm sure that there's something to it. Like, I'm not doubting you at all. I just don't know everything. You know what I mean? Like,
right. It's been like I said, it was one of the first videos of his I watched. Yeah. It's been like 7, 8 years ago, maybe. Is that?
So like me personally, like one thing that kind of stood out for me was when I first started even talking to Bob and Jaron. Jaron kind of pulled me aside on a private conversation, and he was like, "What do you think about Bob?" Basically, pretty point blank. And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And he basically came out and said it. Well, I have a suspicion that Bob is like some kind of a plant, some kind of a phony. And I was just wondering what you thought. And he wasn't saying that that's what he believed. He was just sort of like humoring that as a hypothesis to see where it would go. And so I looked into it a little bit, and, nothing really stood out to me. But like one thing I remember was, so like Bob had a business that was in his name, and it was, supposedly legitimately his business. But when you call the phone number that was listed on the business's website, it would just go to like a fast busy signal. So it's like a disconnected, non-existing number. But like this is so like he did like government contracts and things, like definitely in bed with the sort of government, I don't know, industrial complex or whatever you call it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that to me kind of stood out as a bit of a red flag, but that conversation never really went anywhere between Jaron and I. And eventually, what happened, as far as I know now, I may be a little bit off on the numbers, but so eventually Jaron like sold his house, or he lost his house and he had to move, and there was some kind of something about underwaterness in his house. But so he he was like basically short on the down payment on his new house, but he would get that back whenever he cleared on his old house. And from what I recall, Bob just went ahead and loaned Jaron the money, and it wasn't like chump change. It was a lot. I mean, it wasn't like no $100,000, but I don't think it was. I'm certain it was more than 1,000, and I'm certain it was more than several thousand. I don't know the amounts, and it's not, sort of irrelevant. But like after that happened, where Bob sort of helped out Jaron, there was never ever any sort of anything but basically whatever Bob said went.
Right,
and at some point, like, yeah, at some point, Jaron just basically handed the whole Globebusters lock, stock, and barrel over to Bob.
Right.
Which, whatever, you know, a lot of people don't understand. I didn't have any skin in that. I was just there voluntarily helping them out. Eventually, after years, after they ended up going behind a paywall on Rockfin, they did start paying me a little bit. But that was not my idea. It was something that Bob suggested and came up with, and it was $50 an episode. That's what it was.
Right, I remember you telling me that.
You know, when it comes to Globebusters, I was never really truly like one of the gang, or at least that's the way that I felt. I mean, I did have.
Well, it seems like that's probably a good thing in hindsight, because you know you're independent, not sold out.
Right. Well, but you know, but I definitely had a real legitimate camaraderie with Jaronism, which is why this whole thing is so painful for me, because I don't easily turncoat on my friends. You know what I mean?
Well,
but like, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say, that's I imagine that's why he's gotten the benefit of the doubt from you for so long.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you're not a scumbag.
Well, but it's also weird. It's almost like Jaron isn't fully in control of the likeness of Jaronism. And what I mean is, so like when I went to Denver for the 2018 Flat Earth Conference convention thing, which that's a whole weird story in and of itself. But the main point that I want to make here is like, so day one, I finally met Jaron in person, and we smoked a bunch of joints together right outside the convention center. Like it was nothing. Like that's, you know, because I smoke pot, like whatever, but it was cool. It wasn't any big deal because it's legal there, and you know, whatever. I grew up in Florida, so that's a police state, and pot has never been legal. So it was a bit nostalgic for me, but you know, for Jaron, whatever, he's from California. But on day two, it was like basically everything had changed, and I was some kind of a fool for even smoking pot, and to be seen like out publicly smoking pot and that sort of thing was just far beneath Jaron from that point forward. It was so bizarre. Like I don't know what to make of that, but I sort of ticked that in my box as that what a strange thing. And you know, there was a lot of those sort of things when it came to Bob and Jaron.
No, absolutely. No, and it seems like, well, even that, would you, the last live stream I was on here with you, last weekend, whatever it was, when you were mentioning how I kind of did the effed up thing of, what was his and his wife recording their voices and doing the Mary and Jesus thing and that whole charade. Right. Yeah, it's just kind of disrespectful. I wouldn't think you would do that with a friend. I don't know, but you still gave him the benefit of the doubt, which shows you're obviously a loyal friend.
Well, so the strange thing about that was when he presented it to me, he really truly thought that I wouldn't instantly know that it was them because they did some pretty clever audio trickery with it. But dude, I'm a musician. I got a fucking great ear. I don't never brag about myself on anything but these ears. I'm telling you, I've got fucking ears from like whatever. Like it's like my superpower.
It's those big radar sonar kind of.
Right. But no, like I recognize it instantly, and then I like put it into Sony Vegas Pro and made sure, and like it was definitely them. And when I confronted him about it, like he was kind of, I guess, surprised that I even realized it, and basically tried to make light of it and belittle it. But you know,
not giving you enough credit.
It was weird. Yeah, it was weird.
It really is. I mean, I don't know what would possess you to do that to somebody that. Well, doesn't. Obviously, you treated him well, and that was what you got out of it, at least at that point, which is ridiculous.
Well, I just remember, and so changing back to the original course of the conversation, something that you said years ago, and this is like almost verbatim because I like remember things, but you said, paraphrasing, that you believed that Jaron and Bob were going to basically publicly try to somehow sacrifice the credibility of all flat earthers. And
Oh yeah, sure.
I didn't call you a liar, and I didn't think you were a liar. I just thought
Well,
maybe
it's just that whole shill agenda on anything, on any truth movement, on any level. It's like there's those people who are kind of like the Alex Jones thing. They've got their own image. I mean, they get people in and then they do stupid shit, like go to Antarctica or act like they're going to Antarctica to prove once and for all. Shush. My husband's being hilarious. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's just the kind of person. I mean, they're obviously trying to reel people in and feed them some truth and then mix the lies in there, and then you get associated, or a whole group of people get associated with those people that are popular that have been put forward. Like Jaronism. Obviously, he was he was always up the top of my list when the YouTube algorithm was actually suggesting that stuff to me. For sure.
Right.
Him and Bob. Well, Glowbusters, for sure. And I mean...
Yeah, Bob didn't do much in terms of videography, but, I guess he did do a lot for Glowbusters, but, I had a lot of qualms with the stuff that Bob was doing on Glowbusters, and, I think he did, at some point, maybe weight my opinions highly, but then at a certain point, I'm not sure what happened. I always thought that it was maybe something that I did, but now I'm more under the impression that, these motherfuckers were just playing a role the whole time. I don't know. That is a pretty big accusation to level, but I think it's maybe more likely that just a lot of money got involved to cuck for the globe at some point. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe that was always the plan. I mean, how could you predict this? How could you have predicted this then? If it wasn't the fucking plan then, right? I don't know. I'm still trying to see a way around that. I can't see a way around it. So the thing that I presented to Jaron when he responded with that video that he and Nissa had put together, basically just absolutely saying just the awfulest things, pretending to be Jesus and Mary, right? Just awful things I won't even repeat or even describe, but it's just awful. And the thing that I was trying to tell him about was a video. I was just telling him about a video which was called The Secret Teachings of Jesus, which was really eye-opening to me, and it's probably not what you or anybody would expect. But so the gist of it is that the gist of this video is the concept that a lot of Jesus's teachings were Near East traditional teachings, and if you break down a lot of the cliches and a lot of the Jesus's parables that are attributed to him, they are very similar to something that what a yogi would say, or a Kundalini yoga master would say and teach and preach. And this video it's from a few years ago. It's called The Secret Teachings of Jesus, makes a very interesting and compelling case for that. I know it sounds pretty weird when I say it like that, but if you haven't seen it, watch it. And I just kind of wanted to bounce it off him and see what he thought. And that's when he replied to me with that really bizarre video where Missa, his wife, I guess then and now, I don't know if they're still married. I'm not sure what happened with them, but Missa was playing the role of Jesus as a little kid, and her voice was deepened and slowed down. And Jaron was playing the role of Mary, and his voice was sped up and feminized, right? And instantly I'm wow, that Mary sure sounds like Jaronism, and that Jesus sure sounds like his old lady. And so with just a bit of audio forensics, I was able to determine 100% certainly that's what it was. And so I asked him about it. Yeah, go ahead. Who really does that? Right. And this is the guy that's saying every day when we sign off, sometimes twice a week on Glowbusters, be kind to each other, don't lie to each other.
Right.
And he's going to go to these links to construct a very complex ruse for me. What the fuck is that? That's
those
so
are
weird.
Definitely my favorite type of people, hypocritical assholes. I love that shit. Now I had a double crash on my browser there. It loves when I give Jaron shit and everybody else shit. That's where I cruise all week, never shut my computer off, be on the internet the whole fucking time, and until I get on a stream with you, it's fine. It's cool. Google hates me too, though.
So like another point of contention for me, and again, we're just going through gripes because I kind of need to make my position and how I've gotten to where I'm at clear, because for some reason a lot of people seem to confuse me with the fucking Globebusters just because I was on that show for years. For some reason, I don't get the connection.
They certainly took advantage of you for the whole time you were there, it sounded like.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they were making money. I do know that there was maybe once or twice when like people specifically sent in contributions and asked them to give them to me. There was a couple times, a very few handful of times that did happen. But other than that, like, no, I was never paid for my time. Never had any sort of like. It was so weird because anytime I would bring something like to present, there was never ever time for it. But like, no offense to Iru,
down a lot.
But like Iru's ass could just come and babble about some shit that nobody knows what he's talking about, and there was always time for that fucking nonsense, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It was just so weird.
Sense.
I was never promoted, like maybe a little bit here and there, but like if I received half the promotion that Jaren and them give to the likes of McToon and fucking these other shills, I'd be a millionaire, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. But so
yeah, because I didn't even know you were part of Globebusters until like recently. So you were telling me here recently. I just found your channel, thank goodness, and I imagine because YouTube algorithm, when it was doing its job, had associated you with all the other, and threw you in there too. Of course, your content was about flat Earth stuff. So, I mean, to begin with, you've done a lot of other great stuff too, which I mean, it blows any other work out of the water because you actually, put thought into things and aren't. I don't know. You talk about things that aren't retarded. And like the flat Earth bad baby show, whatever the hell that was, just annoyed the shit out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Annoying.
But one of the last conversations I had with Jeranism was I fairly recently had a big change of heart about my views on celestial navigations being a very good and cogent proof of the flat Earth. I didn't understand it, right? I ain't never done no celestial navigation, so it was all Greek to me, right? But when I did take another look at it, thanks to Nathan Oakley and those guys, I got it, and I realized that Jaren was missing something here. And usually Jaren doesn't miss shit like that. So like, and I hadn't talked to him in a while, and I reached out to him, and I kind of learned that him and Nathan Oakley had all this beef. But so I was trying to tell him, hey man, I think you're making a big mistake on your approach to this celestial navigation thing, and here's why. And basically he still didn't get it. He shot what I was saying down, and maybe he did get it, but he couldn't. He had to pretend like he didn't get it so that he could go on his fucking. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. It's so weird, but the point is though, he basically was like, fuck Nathan Oakley. Fuck those guys. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. And basically, if I agree with him, fuck me too, more or less. It was just so weird because okay.
Visceral reaction is something that he shouldn't have had a visceral reaction to.
Right. So like when I was first presented with celestial navigation as a proof of flat Earth, I kind of dismissed it for one reason. Like, I don't need to be won over about flat Earth. I already know it's flat. And so any sort of new evidence, it doesn't strike me as like really all that interesting. No. And also because I know diddly squat about celestial navigation, so I didn't really understand the application of it. Right. And I was misunderstanding just how valid it actually is to this argument.
Right, because I had some experience with like the sextant part of it, and just like a science experiment in school and shit. That's why it made any sense to me, or like I could make sense of it and see what it was. But I mean, I'm not caught up on what everybody else thinks about it. I could be totally wrong, but it seems like it would work.
So like when I was first presented with it on Globebusters as a panel member on the show, I didn't think all that much of it. Like, I didn't disagree or anything. I just kind of thought it wasn't all that impressive, but also I was missing a big part of it. It's kind of hard to articulate exactly what I was missing. And I mean, I can get into it if we must.
Right.
So like,
I know
so,
like
okay.
history of it, like ships for ages, for millennia.
Okay. So
The whole
like to
navigating
me,
that way.
so the big linchpin thing about it is like this, okay? So when it was presented to me at first, I kind of assumed, well, you could also do all of this and assume that you're on a ball, and it could hypothetically be a ball. But the thing is you have to have flat Earth angle measurements to even get to the hypothetical ball. Like, and there is trigonometry built into celestial navigation, and everyone knows you have to have triangles to do anything with trigonometry. And so there are triangles built into this. And by definition, a triangle has 3 straight line edges and 3 fucking angles that total 180 degrees.
At least it did until they have spherical trigonometry now. That just pisses me off too bad. I'm sorry. I just it the shit out of me.
I think that spherical trigonometry is more of a misnomer than anything else.
Well, I never even saw anything about it until like the whole flirper thing got big. The whole flat Earth thing got big, and now they've got. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. I read the whole Wikipedia page. It's fucking retarded. It really
well,
is.
What they do is they basically take the equatorial plane and they get their angles from that equatorial plane, and now those angles are ascribed on different latitudes or whatever. But
I mean, they have remainders, man. I mean, remainders in it's not how that works. It's not how that math works and any geometrical fucking shit. I mean, pi, I know there's pi where you have a repeating number, but I mean, not in trigonometry. You have very precise thing. It's not something with a remainder of a maybe or a so-so kind of thing. It's you've got these angles, these 3 fucking angles.
So there was definitely definitely a push to, or like there was a push to the AE map as a model. I don't know how many times that got repeated, the AE model, until I had to start saying AE projection is not a model as many times as I heard it. And still, like, even to this day, fucking 8 years on, I'm still getting paired in with people that are somehow promoting the AE projection. The AE projection is not a model.
They popularized the shit out of it, for sure. Right.
And so, like, to try to treat the AE projection as a model is it's disingenuous or foolish. One, it can be neither, and it can't be nothing else other than
certainly foolish.
Yeah.
Certainly. Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. Disingenuous or foolish. One or the other. Very exact. I agree with that. And just misleading.
I hate to speak ill of the dead, but after money got involved, which I never made it. I never requested it. It was something that was offered to me, and I accepted it. But after that happened, basically Bob just sort of got it in his head that he could treat me like absolute pure tea dog shit. Well, and I mean, you have no idea. Like, the things that he said and texted me were just awful.
Yeah, he sounded like a real great guy.
And like he was publicly on the air, like, offering to help me fix my computer and stuff. And we live 20 minutes down the road from each other at this point. And like, he would kept publicly offering to help me fix my computer on the show. You know, but then when I would like try to link up with him off air, he never had time. No. And finally he said, he's like, John, your fucking computer isn't my fucking problem. Why don't you just stop bugging me about your fucking computer like that? And like, this is the same motherfucker that's publicly, I wouldn't have mentioned it if you had. Oh yeah, it's a dick move. That's all there is to it. Totally dick move. It burned me up, dude. It burned me up. And even still, like, so and it wasn't just that. There was a lot. I mean, there was a lot of things. Obviously. And ultimately, like, I put a video together exposing Bob as what I thought to be a fucking asshole and proving it with receipts, right? And
yes, as you usually do.
What I did was, but yeah, because my genre is proving Bob is an asshole. No, I'm kidding.
Well, no, I mean, whatever you do.
I know what you were saying.
But especially that.
Yeah. But so what I did was, because I know that Bob and Jaron at that point still had some sort of a business arrangement going on, I reckon, and I still kind of considered Jaron a friend. And I ran it by him. I told him, I said, just, a heads up, I'm doing an expose on Bob. So, here it is if you want to see it. And I said, by the way, don't show Bob because he'll never be able to unsee it.
Straight to Bob.
Straight to Bob, yeah, and it was just a whole big mess. But I never, Jaronism talked me out of publishing it, so I never did publish it.
Well, yeah, Bob's paying his bills, so gotta cover your sugar daddy's ass, I suppose.
And then right after that, it was Bob was dead. It was very soon after that Bob was dead.
Dead or actually dead, whichever one.
Right. Yeah.
Which I never really gave a shit enough to look into it until you were mentioning, the discrepancies in the ordeal. It's hard to say with these people. It is.
Well, yeah, I was kind of taken aback when Bob's wife of I don't know how many decades, Cammie, was all over their roommate at his fucking memorial.
Oh, cool. They couldn't even wait. Sweet. One of those.
Couldn't even wait till they got home. Right. And to me, how awkward.
Oh, seriously. I mean, you'd think anybody there for his funeral would just...
Oh no, but they picked me up. They came and picked me up because my car, I had just got my car towed and I had just gotten it out of impound. I had to pay $600 something to get the car out of impound, and so I didn't want to drive it to it was north of Greenville, which isn't that far. But like I said, Cammie and them only lived 20 minutes. So her and Zach came and scooped me up and took me to the thing. Had a great time, actually. I got along just great with Cammie and Zach, I must say. Nothing against them as people, but I was really kind of grossed out that they were all over each other.
No, yeah, I mean,
memorial.
Teenagers? I mean, what the hell?
But unless it was written all over my face, which I don't think it was, I'm usually pretty good at the wall thing, but I didn't make anything of it. I didn't say anything. I was very progressive about the whole thing. And really, this is the first time I've ever even said anything about it publicly. Except for maybe the other day, I mentioned it when I was drunk, whatever. Well, I had 3 beers, so you know me. I have no tolerance for alcohol. So.
Well, yeah, obviously you're not doing it every day, all day, every day. So, yeah.
No, I rarely. I used to be a drinker. I mean, I never really got into liquor, but I used to, if I didn't have a 12-pack of beer every day, it was a problem. Yeah. So thank God I'm not like that. I might get a 6-pack and it'll sit in the fridge for 6 months sometimes.
Right. Yeah, so. That's how it'd be around here. Now I can do some shots of vodka here and there if I feel like it, but I haven't done that in forever either. Ugh.
Ooh, I can't stand vodka.
That's what I get a lot.
Tequila, I can handle. Tequila.
Yeah. I never tried tequila for the longest time because everybody acted like it was just the devil or it's awful, can't handle it. But it's fine. It's clear liquor. Once I saw that it was clear liquor, I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
I like the lick it, slam it, suck it. I got to lick it, slam it, suck it. That's the only way I can do it. I got to have that chaser with the bitter lime. But I do like a little tequila, the Patron. Somebody was saying real good things about there's another brand of tequila that's new, but it's supposedly cheaper and better than Patron. So I've got to try it once.
Not yet. I might, if I get a chance, I might have to sample that.
So one thing that definitely is Bob's legacy that is married into the conversations to this day, just like the final experiment will be, is the whole 15 degrees per hour thing on the fucking National Geographic documentary or whatever.
Yeah, the 15 degrees an hour thing, man. I'll give QMP that too. He's definitely fucking trumped that shit. And it is annoying. He gets irritated at all these assholes. But of course, they're calling him out too on stuff. But I mean, he does a good job of modeling that shit up. That's why I enjoy the dude. Yeah.
Well, so okay, so I forget the name of the documentary, and even if I knew it, I wouldn't plug it. But there was that big mainstream documentary where Bob was one of the interviewees or whatever.
Oh shit! You know what? I have seen that.
And so Bob is mic'd up, right? Bob's mic'd up, and they're at some kind of a function or party, and everybody's having drinks. And the guy with the camera is filming Bob from across the party, secretly filming Bob. Oh, and Bob's mic'd up. Bob's mic'd up saying, saying something about how it's such a big, huge problem that the ring laser gyro is picking up this 15 degrees per hour apparent precession or whatever, and so he's secretly recorded saying this, but like
so
if
secretly
you
recorded
so secretly recorded saying that, and it's like, you know, I am so sure that that was an accident. I'm so sure.
Yeah, it wasn't staged at all.
No, because, you know, because once you're a flat earther, right, and you realize this is 100% true, there's always that doubt in the back of your mind where if there's this one globe earth piece of evidence, it's just going to really just destroy the flat earth theory.
Right.
No, that's not, like, that's so stupid.
Well, once I realized some of the most important ones, there is no proof. There's no proof, and it never will be, and there can't be.
Well, so the thing
it's
is
not
about
true.
the thing is about gyroscopic drift, right? Is if you spin up a mechanical gyro, an actual gyroscope, right?
You know, actually, I'm not sure I'm familiar with that term, gyroscopic drift.
So that's what Bob was talking about with the 15 degrees per hour thing with the ring laser gyro. So basically what Bob was saying was the 15 degrees per hour on the ring laser gyro apparent drift more or less proved the earth was spinning, is what he was kind of alluding to with that secret recording.
You know,
right?
I think I'm thinking of Hibbler Productions Flat Earth.
No, this was
that one was good. I don't think I've seen the one you're talking about. I don't think I've seen that one.
Behind the Curve, maybe maybe it was the other one. There was another one too that somehow Bob was involved in that I never was invited to. None of this shit, by the way. Like Bob and Jaron getting invited to all that shit and with Dave Weiss and all that shit. But me, I'm dog food, right? Like I never got invited to any of that shit, dude.
Yeah, because you keep it real, apparently.
Right. And so so here's the thing. So if you spin up a mechanical gyro, that motherfucker will never indicate that the earth is spinning. It'll stay. There's not going to be any apparent precession or gyroscopic drift is what they call it.
Okay.
It only exists with the ring laser gyro. And I will tell you that the ring laser gyro that they used was part of an airplane's guidance mechanism, right? And
yes, right. I remember somebody calling them and talking to like the actual manufacturers at some point. Somebody's video I was watching, it was actually really interesting, and I wish I could remember who it was, because they actually called the manufacturer and talked to them about it, and they were basically said it's like any other gyroscope.
Well, but it's not though. It's not like any other gyroscope because it relies on like lasers and mirrors bouncing light around, but it also relies on software that is closed source, top secret U.S. military software that nobody knows how the fuck it works or what it is. Okay, well,
okay, maybe that call was staged because the person there, because the guy went over all these specifics, and the guy finally mainly admitted that he really couldn't say, and that he wasn't sure about it. He was supposed to be one of the experts on the damn.
No, I'm sure the video you saw was real, but what I'm saying is it's not like a computer programmer can go into the source code and figure out what's going on with it. Sure, they have PR people and experts that have a script to follow, but I'm sure that script is going to break down with some probing because it's bullshit, right? I mean, we know it's bullshit. So, you know, the whole 15 degrees per hour thing with Bob is something that the Globetards still bring up as if it's something. But it is such a contrived. It's just like the bait that they put in the fucking Antarctica videos with the green screen, right?
Well, like Q&P goes over like all these flat earthers are on top of it too. Like they just can't let it go. They can't let the 15 degree an hour thing go. And it's the mean sun, not the actual. Yeah, it's what from my old military. The actual how they put it. Fuck, he's showing like the old school black and white military video over and over. The clips of it where they're explaining what the mean sun is, and it's the 15 degree an hour one. And I mean, all these flat earthers these days are hanging on to it like it's what's real.
No, so what the ring laser gyro thing is something entirely different.
Okay, so it's on a different
so the ring laser gyro thing is supposedly it's basically saying the same thing that a goddamn Foucault pendulum is saying, right?
Oh.
Same type of shit, right?
Right, yeah, okay, yeah.
More or less. I mean, it's a different principle, but same shit, right? That's what they're
same shit, different toilet, right, yeah.
Right, okay, but the thing is, though, like, who's to say that it isn't picking up on the rotation of the medium that that we're in, or the magnetic field, or it could just be something that's hard-boiled coded into that firmware that nobody's ever going to know because it is top secret. It's top secret. Yeah. The only people that know about that is a handful of fucking generals in the military. That's it. And maybe a couple of coders that are probably suicided somewhere.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Most likely, because I mean, who the hell follows an NDA anymore? But yeah, okay. So that's on so the 15-degree thing is just pervasive, and all. So the globetards use it, and now these new kind of flatter. Well, I guess they're not new. I guess they've been around 6 or 7 years. The ones he was pointing out last time, but it's not just them. It's, I mean, he's went over several different people that hang on to that 15-degree an hour thing, and they're supposed flat earthers or whatever, and they act like that's part of the flat earth proof. And so globetards act like it's part of their proof too. Okay, so yeah, the 15-degree an hour, the 15-degree sun thing needs to get his ass kicked. Seriously, more so people can get that shit straightened out, because it's apparently confusing the hell out of everyone.
So the other day I did a stream. I was on my own for that one. And it right at the very end, David Weiss came on and started talking all kinds of bullshit, talking about how like I've been hiding from him because I owe him $300 and this and that. It was on your so funny.
Talking shit.
He came on my stream, and you know what's the funniest part about it?
I don't know how I missed that.
The motherfucker had a wrench still. Like, that's how much I've been hiding from Dave Weiss. Is I never bothered to fucking unwrench him. That's how much I think about David Weiss. Yeah.
Oh man, I got some beef with that dude, jackass.
Well, and so like now I'm pretty sure it's him who keeps on like maybe not this stream. I haven't even glanced at the chat for this stream, but when I was doing the premiere earlier today. There was somebody that kept on joining with different sock puppet accounts, and I'm like 100% sure is the initials were DW.
Yeah. Oh.
So.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Cool. Good disguise. What an asshole. I mean, I guess it's not 100%, but I mean.
Well, I know there's nobody else in the world that is absolutely fucking fuming at me other than him. I mean, maybe I guess at this point Jaronism, but like I haven't even spoken with Jaronism in like maybe once in the last couple of years. So like whatever.
Definitely their loss and not yours, because I mean, what's the gain by keeping them around? Sounds like all they've ever done is just kind of have. Well, I mean, obviously it sounded like Jaronism at first until the whole obvious literal selling out was all right. With it. But I mean,
So I guess just to round this point off, my biggest point of contention was all of the positive claims being made about how a 24-hour sun in Antarctica is only possible on a globe.
How? Yeah, just explain it. It's like the Simon Dan thing. It's that just irritated the hell out of me. Who cares, like a flat earther or not? You should have an answer. How that is exactly going to prove your point. I mean, how it's going to, demonstrably be the final experiment, the final say, which is just ridiculous. The whole premise is ridiculous. Sorry, it's one of those things that's irritating the shit out of me here. I couldn't help it.
No, I know. Like, and there's going to be lasting effects on this movement because of this stunt. But did we expect anything less? Yeah, we didn't expect anything less.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah. Well, they admitted what was coming. Didn't they? On that stream we did, you're showing the videos. I mean, they were already saying we're going there and this is going to happen. Like, oh, okay. Well, right, because obviously you guys are right. The small town preacher that
no need to pursue truth anymore.
I guess the final thing I would say is like a lot of people have been asking me like, what really is my problem with Witsit Gets It? Like, I must be jealous. That's what people have been said to me a few times. My only response to that is I never had anything against Witsit Gets It. I never really saw any of his work. We were contemporaneously on Globebusters a few times, but I've only ever had maybe like one conversation with dude ever.
Aside from Hugh and Fee showing some pretty annoying clips of him in with his jumble of flat earth tards that are obviously just either trying to.
Yeah, just big words.
Quite annoying.
Yeah, big word salad and just a lot of you got to really be on that crank to follow what he's saying. But You know, the thing that pissed me off about him was on Bob's memorial, for whatever that's worth. Jeranism did a stream, and I joined the stream with Jeranism for Bob's memorial. This was after the physical meetup where Cammy and Zach were just fucking all over each other. But you know, the thing is so there was this doctor lady who was going on and on and on and on about how doctors are not bad and you shouldn't be afraid to see the doctor. And finally, I thought this woman was done. And I had been patiently waiting like 2 hours just to say my piece and go. And so I thought the woman was done. And so I started saying my piece, and Witsit basically interrupts me and goes, yo, dude, why would you interrupt her? She is a doctor and she wasn't finished. So why don't you just let the doctor finish? And I'm like, you know what?
Why don't you stay
Who
in
the
your fucking lane?
Who the fuck are you anyway? He went on to say that Bob was like the best guy he'd ever knew, and he was such a good mentor and a friend. And at this point, I'm thinking to myself,
It's wondering what was sticking out of Bob's casket.
I was thinking to myself, you know, Bob, not to speak ill of the dead, but Bob was a fucking asshole. You know, no offense or anything, but he was, like, to me, he was so mean to me. You guys have no idea the shit he said to me behind closed doors.
Dude,
it's ridiculous.
I can only imagine, and I imagine it was way off fucking base because he's either insecure or trying to just put you down so you don't put your ideas out there because, I don't know, they're probably better than theirs, or they're going to possibly gain traction because they make sense. I don't know.
Well, so so this is the case in point to where, okay, again, so 2018 in Denver. So this is a nodal point for my flat earth experience, a nodal point. Get it? Ha, ha, ha. So in 2018 Denver, Bob had asked me, you know, because we're going to do a live stream of the Globebuster show at the conference. And he asked me if there's any topic that you want to talk about during the Globebuster stream for the conference, just jot it down and give it to me, you know, an hour before the thing so that we can put it on the itinerary. And so I got it to him a day early, right? And he brought it back to me basically saying that we can't talk about this. And I said, well, why not? So what it was, this is the proof that I find very fascinating, is the moon, based on its phase, is in the wrong place sometimes according to the ball earth theory, right? So if you humor the ball earth theory, the phase of the moon should be indicative of where it is relative to the sun, okay?
Always.
And sometimes the moon's in the wrong place according to that. So it's a very good...
in the wrong place a lot lately.
A lot, yeah. So like full moon in the middle of the day is a problem for the ball.
Yeah, a huge problem.
Crescent moon in the middle of the night is a big problem for the ball, okay? And so I wanted to talk about that at the conference. Nobody had been talking about this then, and to this day, still nobody really talks about it.
Doing gatekeeping is exactly what the fuck he was doing. He doesn't want people actually thinking about furthering the movement.
So he said we couldn't talk about it. I said, well, why not? He said, well, it's been debunked, John. And I said, by who? And he said, well, there's this guy. There's a channel called Bloody Truth. The guy's name is Rob, and he's debunked it ages ago. And I said, well, and see, I'm familiar with this channel, and I'd seen his debunks, and I knew the guy's not a shill. He just didn't understand my proof. And so he was debunking the wrong thing. And I tried to explain that to Bob, and I said, well, Bob, can you debunk it? And he said, well, no, I don't even understand the proof. So I just don't want to talk about it because it's been debunked. And I'm sitting here thinking, wow, that is just a perfect example of why this is a motherfucker. And an idiot, I'm sorry to say, speaking ill of the dead.
Well, I mean, I'm the one to hop up and choke him, that's for sure.
So we didn't talk about it.
The logic's flawless.
When I got home about a week later, I went to Rob's channel, The Bloody Truth, to do a video response. I was going to download one of his videos and respond. But the top thing on his video was condoning everything I had said, and it was months ago. So not only did this guy, Rob from The Bloody Truth, rescind his debunk and admit that he didn't understand what the fuck I had been talking about, but it was months before the convention that happened. So Bob was going on this old information that my shit was debunked when it wasn't, and the dude had already fucking admitted that he was wrong. So like, you know, it pissed me off. I try not to let my ego get into in between the work.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not even just that on that level. I'm sure from your perspective, it's not just your ego. I mean, it's just
It's the truth.
exactly,
And it's a big deal.
Exactly.
And you know, man,
It is a huge deal.
When people start trying to censor what I'm saying based on their ignorance of what I'm saying, it just makes me sick, especially coming from within our camp. And so, you know, that was a huge turnoff. But I kept that shit bottled inside. And, you know, again, I never made any stink about it, but maybe it was like written all over my face. I don't think so. But like, eventually,
any person with any sort of feelings at all, really, what you would, he had to know that that's going to affect you in some way. That's why I always mentioned that I think he just wanted to keep you downtrodden and keep you, I don't know, even maybe try and get you off the whole fucking topic if you fucking played it right.
Right, well, see,
get this
so
person
that's
saying truth the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Or that's trying to, you know, like, research shit and possibly find truth. Let's get him the hell out of here.
Well, let's face it. I mean, the Globebusters definitely had a big platform filled with diverse people, right?
Yeah,
and I think that the appeal was we did have a variety of sort of views on there, and it really worked well for a while. But you know, a lot of shit changed at some point, and it's like I became a villain, like an enemy. I really don't know exactly what happened. Like,
well, you weren't like the rest, obviously. You just fucking, at least not in the mindset to where, you know, you weren't, obviously you were trying to find the truth, trying to put the truth out there, trying to do research, trying to, you know, go to topics that are hard for them to, you know, since they were obvious, I don't know, to me, obvious shills and obvious gatekeeping, you know, kind of hard to gatekeep when you got somebody who's like, you know, bringing shit to the table that makes people think.
Well, but it's
and from different angles of the whole flat Earth thing or the level, the plane, the infinite plane thing. Because, I mean, you know,
I kind of feel like it's one of those things where they were trying to keep their friends close, but their enemies closer. And I think they saw me as an enemy because, you know, I would call Bob out on his bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Like,
it's like,
when
let's get you on board and tell you what you can and can't do. Fucking topic. Yeah, what topics?
Well, like they'd bring people on like Santos Bonacci, talking about like all kinds of wild shit. And like if I would say things to Bob, like, you know, Bob would make claims that NASA had satellite data to prove this. And we're talking, this is like 2019 or something. I'm like, Bob, satellites don't exist. And
yeah.
He's like, well, yeah. I mean, he was still like at that point, still kind of cucking for the globe and NASA, like kind of subconsciously. And I don't know if that was intentional or I don't know what that was. I was just thinking,
like, was that like him obviously being on their side? And possibly
like a Freudian slip.
Right, yeah. Or just to like test the waters with you to see if you could be on board, if you could be, you know, persuaded to back up some retarded shit like that.
Well, and you know,
one way or the other,
I had long had my reservations about Bob, just because I don't know. I don't want to get into the reasons why, but I always had a bad vibe from Bob, especially from a certain point. And I just get the feeling that he wasn't 100% honest with everyone when it comes to this whole thing and who he was as a person and what his mission was. I just can't get on board with that. With him being,
seems like a lot of gatekeeping was his main mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what he might have even been being paid to be, you know, paid to pursue that mission. Possibly, it seems like. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was just on. Maybe he was just a globe cuck for the hell of it, but man, that sucks. I missed David Weiss on your stream. That fucking dickbag.
Oh yeah, it was right at the end. And,
oh man.
Yeah, he was talking about what about the $300? He said, "What about the money you owe me?" I'm like, "What money?" He's about $300. I'm like thinking, $300? Wait, I don't remember owing him $300. I remember he just voluntarily he voluntarily sent money a bunch of times because see what he would do is he would take my videos from YouTube.
Oh, that's right. You told me.
He would put them on his app and then he would get people giving him money because of my work. I don't know how much money he got because of my work, but he sent me like $50 a couple times, but he's saying I owe him $300. Like I told him dude, you know,
Him
like,
and Bob
wow.
obviously made some bank off of you. Even if it wasn't a huge amount of bank, it might. Maybe it was though. It's just,
I don't know, man. I don't make money doing what I do, but I'm not a capitalist. Like, I really don't care much for money. I really don't. Like, I care more that people get my information for free than me getting a paycheck. Honestly, like, money's nice. Don't get me wrong.
Great, but it's just getting it out there. Really,
this is the whole purpose of me doing what I do is because I'm passionate about this truth, and I think it's important for our future and for the future of our children.
Right.
That's why I'm doing
there you
this. Go. Yeah. So, but you know, Dave Weiss got a speedboat for his little fucking generic ass app that needs to be taken down because it's shit. So there you go. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to sound like I'm bitter, and this will be the last that I speak of these people. I am now officially distancing myself from that whole group. Unfortunately, you know, we did have our good times, and there was a lot of good stuff that came out of that. But I just feel like I was used during that thing and basically kept tabs on. And again, I just feel like I was the enemy that was kept closest, is what I think. Let me get Kristen back in here. So,
dude, it really sucks that Google Chrome is the only fucking browser I can use for this shit. Google
to be sure, now just to be sure that I am not absolutely confusing you with someone else this whole time, you did used to be Kristen Wolf, right?
No, not at all. That's why I was wondering about the.
That wasn't you.
Thing. That was not me.
Okay.
No, we had talked about what some of the first times we talked, I was saying like I just didn't trust him from like all the way back.
So when was the first time?
That might be why you were.
When was the first time that you and I actually met on the phone?
This year.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. See, because I swear to God, up until this moment right now, I swear to God, I thought that you were Kristen Wolf.
I should have said something, but I didn't. I was just going with it there.
So here's the thing. I never met Kristen Wolf. I never met Kristen Wolf in person, and I swear to God, you have her identical voice. Like you.
No kidding.
And I'm usually very good with this sort of thing, so I guess that my earlier comment, fucking notwithstanding about how good I am at hearing, but I swear to God, up until just now, I thought you were Kristen Wolf, and that is what I was talking about.
I wondered. I was going to ask you about it later.
I
just figured, because we had had a conversation about how I hadn't trusted him for years. I figured maybe you were.
Okay. Well, I swear to God, I assume because so this Kristen here that I'm talking with now, just sort of magnanimously contacted me out of the blue and offered to send me her laptop computer that I could use to make videos, and. That's like one of the nicest things that a stranger could do, right? Especially because I needed a computer bad. But I swear, my right hand up until just now, I swear to God, I thought that was an entirely different person. This whole entire time, all these streams we've done together, I swear to God, I thought that you were Kristen Wolf. So that's strange. And I feel kind of stupid, but hey, Kristens are cool, man, aren't they? But all right, y'all. Everybody's got to keep a couple Kristens around up in this motherfucker, bro. No, I'm sorry, man. Wow. Okay, so let's just dog camp sports ourselves out of here, man. Let me check in on the chat. Wow, I feel like such an idiot, dude. What's up, commercial sound and video, John? You should be ashamed. Your opinions of your fellows is just projecting. This is low. Okay. Whatever. My opinions of people are based on their actions. I am very good to my friends, very generous to my friends. I love my friends, and I would do anything for my friends. And people probably recognize that and take advantage, but whatever, man. Your insults do nothing to me, honestly. Ninja Bong Taker, what's up, brother? Jaren's not a man. Oh, I wouldn't say that. Yeah. Well, okay. So, guys, I am not the one to do streams talking about people, okay? So don't expect this kind of shit from me on the regular. But this had to be said. The shit had to be said to just clear the air, to make my position, you know, clear, and how I've arrived at where I'm at today. Okay, you can love me or hate me. I think if you hate me, you're probably misinformed about me. I really don't know what I've done to a lot of people that seem to hate me so much. But if anybody could please tell me what I've done, I will apologize, as long as it's something that I've actually done. Okay. So anyways, I think that covers it, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And I've got some actual decent content coming up on the next one. This shit had to be said. I'm getting too much. I don't feel like typing out comments and typing out email responses to people with qualms. So just, you know, if I get those qualms in the future, I will refer you to this video. Okay. But other than that, like I said, don't expect this from me. I don't do gossip. I don't talk about people. I can't stand that kind of shit, honestly. But I will definitely be, you know, keeping in touch and busting NASA's balls and confusing Christians like a motherfucker. All right, y'all. Be good. One love, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, Kristen,
Hey.
do you want to
That's not
peace
annoying.
out before we go? Hello?
Dude.
Somebody home? I think Kristen is trying to pop in. Kristen, if you can hear me.
Wait, I hear you talking,
you
but
are.
I hear more acoustic guitar than anything.
There you go. I can hear you now. Okay.
It's good acoustic though.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, that's not getting annoying at all.
No, it happens every time to Brad as well.
Dude.
I think it probably I would recommend Ethernet if you can get Ethernet going from the router somehow.
Well, when you're
Or
trying to
you're
get
on
out of
a
that, you're trying to get out of that hotel or wait, motel that you guys were in. That's the first time I contacted you. Like, you'd actually given your number out, and I'm like, well, I know a car place that gives out free tools so you could fix your car and maybe get to where you were going. Camper, maybe. I think that's where it was.
I think I do remember talking.
And then you were saying something about the whole computer thing, and I'm like, well, fuck, man. It's the least I can do. I got an extra computer laying around.
So do you remember, like, when the first time we did a hangout, I was like, just let everybody know where they can find your work? Like, I swear to God, I thought you were, and I can't think of Kristen Wolf's, the name of her, it's Globe Earth Inquiry Show.
That's too much. That's crazy.
Flat Earth
sounded that
Inquiry
much
Show.
alike, because obviously, like you're saying.
No, dude, you like, I swear, like, you could be her fucking twin sister. Like, but I never met her in person, so I don't know what she looks like. So that's why I just, like, I didn't think that, so, like, the image in my mind that I had of Kristen Wolf did not match your particular face. So, but your voice did. I don't know. That's so weird. That's weird to me. But no, like y'all.
Dude, it is.
But y'all have very similar voice. Great. Y'all sound great. You sound great. You do. You sound great.
That's crazy. I'd like to see what she looks like, because my mom and dad said I've got a twin out there somewhere. They thought was me.
I don't know what she looks like. I've never seen her.
In Dayton, Ohio, actually.
I think she.
I figured since I could never donate, I might as well send you a damn laptop. But that just crazy how we sounded so much alike.
She lives in the Midwest too. Like, I don't think Ohio, but it's around there somewhere. Kristen, if you ever happen to watch this stream, sorry, no, totally. I thought, dude, like, and wow, okay, well.
No biggie.
Okay. Well, listen, we're gonna
the acoustic is awesome, but I'm like really straining to hear you over the acoustic. Is the acoustic on this video you're playing? That happened last time too, I think. Why does that happen? Like, hold on.
What are you hearing? I don't hear it.
That didn't do anything good. What the hell's going on here? No, that didn't help. No, it's just TV.
Okay.
I mean, the acoustic is awesome, but hey, I know.
I don't know what that is. Oh, are we? Yeah, it's muted.
So wait, the acoustic isn't coming from this video? Oh, there we go. There we go.
It totally was that. Oh, so you have to mute it on your end too. Oh, I was wondering that because I was looking to. I wonder if that was playing for the live stream the whole time too. Let's see.
I know. I I was gonna keep in with the chat this time, but I can't even hardly keep my tab from crashing. But it was the fourth, fifth time. Good lord, it's just giving me the middle finger today. Yeah, because I was wanting to keep up with chat there today. Because I mean, I know it's with you're working with my computer still, aren't you? So I mean, it's.
Dude, you must have thought I was some kind of
a load on.
You must have thought I was some kind of fucking idiot, dude. Because I'm talking about like we go way back, and like I just met this motherfucker. I'm so sorry. Like, wow. Okay. Well, let's wrap this one.
No. I was thinking, I'm like, okay. Well, fine.
No. I'm not trying to be like that. It's
definitely a whole. No. I know you don't. I'm just giving you shit. No. I ain't even like that. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that number on you. We good.
Like, honestly, there was one point in time I was just gonna say congratulations on being married because you had a new last name, but I didn't even think like I was gonna do it and it never happened. But then you said your husband's name, and I didn't want to be like, well, oh wait, you found a new old man, because I didn't think that was his name. His name was like Preston or something. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh right, now you're dating Snake. Whoa. Okay. Oh, you know what? From Preston to Snake, that's a big fucking change right there.
Okay. Like,
well, all right.
Good. All right, yo. Hey, well, you're still welcome to join me on future hangouts. I think we'll do fine. You know, any Kristen will do. Any Kristen will do. So. Okay.
That's right. Okay. Any token vagina named Kristen. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm in there. I'm in there like swimwear.
All right. Hey, y'all be good. One love, you guys. Definitely
love you, brother.
Support
love you,
if
chat.
you want to. And y'all be good. Spread the word. Spread the world. And
do
it. Peace out, everybody. Do it. Do it.
Have a good Saturday. Do it.